Have you heard about the Buy Nothing movement or the Buy Nothing Rebellion or whatever else? I know. I say nothing, it's nothing or something like this. My accent, oh well, deal with it. You can laugh about that. Nothing, spelled N-A-H-T-H-I-N-G. Nothing. But this whole movement of don't buy anything. I would like to make some points about it. I've seen a couple videos on it, but right here behind me is the ambulance that we own. If you're new to the channel, this is I've used it for lots of different things, but today it's going to be hauling firewood. So I got about a quart of it in there. Firewood was feeling a little bit sick, so we're going to take it someplace special so it can be treated. But very interesting thought process here, because a lot of people are being forced into the Buy Nothing movement simply because they have barely any money to survive. And I can sympathize with that. I've been through quite a few financial hardships in my life and some pretty rough times. And but there's other people that are saying, I do have money, you know, we're debt free or whatever else, but we're just not. You go into a store and you just look at all this cheap stuff that's made in communist China. Our government tells us that they're supposedly the enemy, and yet, you know, we're supposed to buy junk that they make that was taken, or that they make in their factories over there that were taken from America. How does that make any sense? It doesn't. So it's this rebellion type of a thing of, you know, I'm just simply not going to buy anything. And you go into these places and it's sort of a, you know, you just feel sick in your stomach, you know, kind of a thing. I'm going to show you something here today. I've never shown this on video before. See the solar panels there behind me, a little window. This is our tiny house reefer trailer. There's the door going in. My son's outside riding around a four-wheeler. But if you've seen some of my videos, right there's the whiteboard that I've used many times. And another angle I'll show you here. Let me spin around slowly so I don't give anybody motion sickness. But over there you can see the mule deer skull and antlers right there. And so there's our wood stove over there, pipe going up and out. We originally had a rocket stove in here, and that's why the pipe, like the outlet pipe up in there is going out kind of at a weird thing, and then this is at a weird angle. I built it for a rocket stove, which didn't work, and for this application, but yeah. If you'd like a full tour of this, let me know in the comment section. If I get enough people saying yeah, and like to see the full tour of it, well then maybe I'll do a full tour. But I had to put my gloves in here. I don't think I have anything else, so. All right, I'm gonna lock up for now. But speaking of financial hard times, how about living in a reefer trailer? Lived in that thing for 6 years. So yeah, I know what it's like to buy nothing. But there's another more important aspect to this whole Buy Nothing rebellion thing. You say, what's that? Well, if you understand the corrupt financial system, the system that should have been reset years ago, many people say that the 2008 crash would have been a good time to let things, you know, the economy come down and let's get rid of the Federal Reserve and have a new economy, and you have to go through all the pain of a stock market crash and everything. People lose, you know, a lot, but at least the economy would have been reset. We'd be on a new system right now. But see, they don't want that. The bankers, if you haven't noticed, the bankers are trying to use their system to enslave people. And they want you to get this, you know, stable coin, central bank digital currency thing, this cryptocurrency nonsense, and they want to be able to track and trace everything that you do. What are you buying? Where are you spending your money at? You know, and we've all had experiences with this. I remember when I first came to Maine back in 2013 on a vacation, the bank that I was banking with down in Pennsylvania, where I lived at the time, they shut down my bank account. I used it trying to get a motel up in the town of Holton, and my card was rejected. And I thought, what in the world? You called the bank up and everything, and oh, well, we didn't know that you were going to Maine. You should have told us. I was just, excuse me? So now I have to tell the bank when I go on vacation? Excuse me? No. And thankfully I had cash along, and I was able to pay for the motel thing with cash. But they want to get rid of that. So, bad situation. But here's the point. How does their system, their financial system, what does it rely on? Velocity of money, velocity of currency, if you want to say it that way. Their system has to have people spending the money. Okay, if people are just sitting on money, they're not buying anything, then their system starts to have problems. That's why they gave you the stimulus checks back there during the pandemic, the scamdemic that was back then. They gave everybody stimulus checks. Why? Because they had to stimulate the economy, because the real story of the pandemic had nothing to do with the coronavirus or whatever. It had everything to do with the quantitative easing that the Federal Reserve was doing. And putting all kinds of money out there, injecting literally trillions and trillions of dollars into the economy that's already terribly in debt. And they needed people to go out there and spend that money. Because you see, China makes the junk, then they ship it to America to have the American people consume it. And I saw a comment on one video, and this guy said that he worked at Costco, and he said about how that typically at Costco they get 4 to 5 tractor trailer loads of what they call dry merchandise, meaning towels, washcloths, toys, video games, you know, whatever, decorations for your house, things like that. And then they would have 2 to 3 wet trailer loads a day, meaning wet being food items, perishable food items. And I thought, so in other words, people are buying twice as much junk for their homes that they can't afford as they're buying food. That's a problem, okay? People have their priorities screwed up. But see, everybody knows, everybody in America, every single man, woman, and child, unless they're completely brain dead, they all know there's something wrong with this country. Something's not good here. So what do? They need a dopamine hit. They want to feel good. So let's get something, oh, this is cute, let's get this. Let's just put it on the credit card. Let's do a buy now, pay later loan. And people are getting more and more into debt, which is exactly what the bankers want. So if we can stop the velocity of money, if we can stop this liquidity out there in the markets, where people say, you know what, no, not going to consume. Sorry, not happening. Then the bankers would be forced into changing some things. The bankers won't be able to get their way, you see. The American system depends on consumption. Very important. If you've seen the They Live movie that came out many years ago, Roddy Piper, the professional wrestler guy that was in there as the actor, and he's got, you know, he puts the glasses on and he's looking, and it's consume, obey, and everything else. And you know, that takeover thing that they were talking about there, if you see the movie, there are the elites that are there behind the scenes that are making money off of the regular people. Their year of total takeover was 2025. What's going to be happening here in the fourth quarter of 2025? Right now, as I speak, the government is shut down. Oh, but don't worry, it's going to come back. And you know, Trump comes out and he says, day one, I'm going to end the war. I'm going to end the war day one. You can guarantee, I'll tell Putin what to do, and they're going to end the war day one. First thing, and maybe even before I become president. Yeah, how'd that work out? You know, I mean, I believe in giving everybody a chance, even the most wicked, you know, the vilest offender, as the old hymn says. Well, the vilest offender named Donald Trump there, I try to give him a chance. He says some nice things. All the politicians do. And you think, well, maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe everything will be fine, you know. Kind of get your hopes up. And then they, of course, confirm your doubts and your fears. And, oh, yeah, okay. No, he didn't do what he said he was going to do. Yeah, typical. And of course, they're getting ready now to get the printing presses going again. You know, the Doge thing, Elon Musk, and we're going to come out and we're going to stop this frivolous spending, and we're going to put an end to this thing, and the U.S. aid thing and whatever else they did, and we're going to have this great change. What happened to that? People don't even remember it now. Most people. It's just business as usual. And Trump, what's the economy like? Oh, it's the best economy ever. First one was the best economy ever. Then why'd you have to stimulate the economy with money? If it was the best economy ever, why'd you have to print lots of money? Yeah. See, the buy nothing movement is a much bigger thing. Because see, the little dirty secret, I'm gonna let you in on it. Make sure nobody's listening here. Like I care. It's my property. If somebody's back here trying to listen to me, they're going to be in trouble trespassing on my land. But the little dirty secret of the Goonies, their system is not quite as powerful as they want you to think. See, they put out a lot of stuff, a lot of disinformation and things. You got the little CIA Goonies, and they're putting all the little conspiracy things out there to try to make it seem like you have no chance against these people. They're your masters. You will submit. You will obey. You have no opportunity. You had no chance. You're not on our level intellectually or financially and whatever else. I've been around some very wealthy people. In my time as an artist, I was in the Bethesda, Maryland. I had a big gallery down there that had my work, selling pieces for a lot of money, many hundreds of dollars just for a little wooden bowl of mine. I had pieces going up in over $1,000, when I was an artist back then, and I went to the big shows and everything, art shows, and all these wealthy people, going around and things. They're crazy. A lot of them, they're nutty. And they worry about things. I mean, somebody gives you $1 billion, what are you going to do with the money? Most people just say, oh, I'd put it in the bank. Oh, you don't know. You don't know what the bank does. That's what they want. They want you to put it in the bank. Now you're an unsecured depositor. And they can take your money and they can gamble it on the stock market. You say, well, I'll buy lots of land. Okay, you're going to monitor your land. You're going to protect your land. Keep people off from trespassing on it. Well, I'll buy apartments. Yeah, and then the people destroy your apartment. I've heard nightmare stories from rich people, and they talk about, having an apartment, and somebody comes into that apartment and they just trash it when it's their time to leave. Do $40,000 worth of damage or something like that. When you get a lot of money, it's very hard to hold on to that money. You put it into a lot of precious metals and things like that, well, then the government's, oh, they're looking, what are you doing with all that gold? All that silver, you're trying to short the market like the Hunt brothers did and whatever back there in the 1980s. We have to keep an eye on you. And I'm not talking about, if you have 100,000, 200,000 or something. I'm talking if you get into the multi-millions or even $1 billion worth of precious metals or something. The secret is of this whole thing, the Bible says about that they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare and into many foolish and hurtful lusts which drown men in destruction and perdition. 1 Timothy chapter 6 talks about that. And then it says, for the love of money, verse 10, for the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after they have erred from the faith. And don't have my Bible on me right now. I'm just doing this thing, ad-libbing this, but sorry, my mind's on a bunch of other points here. But the love of money is the root of all evil. Why? Because you pierce yourself through with many sorrows when you have lots of money. You start to get a little bit scared and you start to think to yourself, should I drive a nice car? If I drive a Ferrari around, people are going to go and I can't park it at a parking lot because they'll key it. And somebody will probably cut me off or something. I mean, when I was a teenager, or I should say not teenager, but in my early 20s, I bought a 1982 Corvette, okay? Chevy Corvette. It was $5,000 at the time. New trucks were going for about $24,000 to $30,000 back then, in those years. My Corvette, it was in decent shape, ran good and everything, but it was by no means a numbers matching, show car or something. It was just 1982 was a bad year for the Corvette, if you know anything about them. But people were rude to me in that car. Here's a young guy and he's got this Corvette, and I'm thinking, oh, he's a rich boy. And I remember the one guy came up and he said, man, must be nice to be your age and have a Corvette. I said, what do you pay for your truck? He said, $24,000. I said, this was $5,000. You could have bought almost 5 of these cars for your one truck. Who's really spending all the money? Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't think about that. But again, I couldn't take it certain places because people would key it and they would do other things to it because it's a young guy with a Corvette. You know, and so if I was a billionaire, what am I going to do? Drive around a Bugatti or something up here? Northern Maine, driving around in Bugatti on the back roads, or I'll get a Lamborghini. Of course not. I don't want anything like that. You know, I mean, it's a problem when you get up into that kind of money. And what happens is you get up into the secret society stuff and the fraternal orders and be part of this club and that club. And why? Well, because they have to, you know, I need investment opportunities, ways I can spend this money. You know, get a little bit of return on investment here, but I have to spread this money out or I'm going to lose it. You know, you get up into the, what was the guy, I forget, Sam Friedman or something, or I think his guy's name was, or whatever, he had one of the cryptocurrencies, and just like that, gone. You know, I forget what the name of the cryptocurrency is. If you know it, put it in the comments section down below. But there was a whole cryptocurrency scandal thing, and, you know, boom. We have somebody littered on my land, not intentionally, but I'll show you this. See if I can show it. See it right there? A little helium balloon or something, you know. But let me pick that thing up, somebody else's junk. Some little child probably cried. My balloon! Daddy, get it for me. I have to be the fortunate one. So, you know, you city people out there that say, we release these balloons and go, yay, look at the balloons flying away. I wonder where they end up. Thank you. Appreciate it. They end up on my property, you know. I've found other balloons on my property too here, so it isn't just one balloon. I've found, you know, some people sending these balloons out and whatever else. I have to walk around my property and find them and pick them up and throw them away. So thank you so much, appreciate it. But getting back to the topic here at hand, if we as a people, and I've heard the one guy, he said, you know, something like 5% would be all it would take to make a real big problem for a lot of these corporations. A 5% drop in sales, in other words, would make, would force their hand. They would have to do some things to, you know, get better products and whatever else. And another thing somebody else mentioned on this whole deal is that you have the, just put this thing in my back pocket so I'm not crinkling it the whole time. I can't, still a little bit of air in it. But the other thing is you have the thing of planned obsolescence. The new stuff, the new junk that they sell, that they make in communist China, it's designed to last for a very short amount of time. And you know that if you have any experience at all. We call it the MIC rule, made in China, M-I-C, MIC rule. It lasts for 2 to 3 years and then it dies. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. We found that to be true many times. So, should you, if you're wanting freedom, should you be part of this rebellion that says, hey, you know what, we're not going to spend anything right now. Oh, the government wants to give us money. I've said this and people get mad at me, but there's a very important reason why I say this. And that is, I think what you should do, the government comes along and says, hey, we're going to give you some stimulus check or whatever else. One of your primary beliefs in life, no matter if you're a Christian or not, or whatever your belief system is religiously, you should have the morals to say, I will never take money from somebody if I didn't work for it. Okay? And the stimulus check, you didn't do anything for that. They're trying to stimulate the economy to keep the thing afloat. And you're actually hurting yourself and your future by taking that money. Again, you know, there's been a lot of people that have brought out the fact that the FedNow program was actually experimented with during the COVID thing. And the stimulus checks were part of that. And if you took one, you basically were signed up for a FedNow account. You can get away with it the first time because, you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, as the old saying goes. Bad thing if you're taking money like that. See, even a squirrel agrees with me. I mean, what are you going to do when you have a squirrel agreeing with you like that? He's over there barking about it. He didn't take a stimulus check, did you? No, see, he didn't. He shook his head no, you couldn't see it. But Anyhow, so the Buy Nothing rebellion and movement. Well, some of us have been part of that for a long time. Not going out to eat, and being debt free, and watching what you spend, going to secondhand stores, buying older things. Don't go out and buy the brand new stuff. I mean, I haven't gone in a Walmart in a very long time. Last time I went in was to do gospel tracting. I don't buy stuff from Walmart. I've always hated Walmart because of what they stand for. The destruction of the small town and the little shops and whatever else. And they do push for that. So it's not a thing of, oh, come on, that's propaganda. No, it's not. They actually do push for it. So I've seen things of where businesses were basically destroyed because of Walmart just continually pushing them until they go overseas. Americans need to just start voting with their dollars. That's one thing that we can do. You are not helpless. You are not just, oh, there's nothing we can do. It's just the way it's going to be. Oh, no, 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 no. Let's fight that. I get real sick and tired of people on YouTube that are just, well, looks like digital currency's coming. Nothing we can do about it. I don't like it, but there isn't anything we can do. But yes, there is. There's lots that we can do about it. Okay? And people, oh, but I'm afraid that if we don't do something, they'll make, America will become a third world country. Do you realize how free third world countries are? I mean, yeah, I realize that there's some oppression there and they don't make a lot of money and whatever else. But man, I've been in Honduras. I've been in Costa Rica. Costa Rica is more of a second world country back when I was going there, back in the 1990s. But Honduras, dirt poor. I mean, literally dirt floors in the houses in the villages I was in. And, newspaper for walls, division walls and things, outdoor walls. It's little wooden sticks and things like this that they put together to make a hut. And, going out and getting their water from the river that people are also dumping their sewage into. I mean, just poverty like you couldn't believe. And yet I'd see people going down the highway, 15 people in the back of a pickup truck or something. Police go the other way and, hey, how you doing? I mean, not all this, restrictions and whatever. Just do whatever you feel like doing. If there's a way you can make money, go make money that way. Just very free compared to all the bureaucracy that we suffer under, here in America. So, and it's funny because I've known Spanish people that literally came here to America for a better life and whatever else, and they see all the nonsense here and they say, I think I want to just go home. And they'll actually go back to their own country. Just crazy. So, the Buy Nothing Rebellion, yeah, I'd give it 2 thumbs up, but if I do, I drop my camera. So I won't do that right now. But let me go. I have to hike back and have to get down to the office. As you saw, we were doing firewood today. So I have to get down to the office, get some things done down there, and see if any more people put balloons on my property. Look at that. So that's going to be it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in upcoming studies.